Hey guys, welcome to episode number 6 of the Josh and Ben podcast. Let's hop straight into it. So, Josh, I watched a YouTube video today. I sent you the link. It was super interesting. It was about communication. So, the thumbnail was very clickbaity. It was like
Hmm.
Alex Hormozy and Iman Gadzhi and how they're brainwashing you. Definitely not anything to do with that. But I only got like a quarter of the way through the video, maybe half, and it was really interesting. It was about how they communicate.
Hmm.
And the way they communicate is so interesting if you break it down.
Yeah.
They actually have a very interesting strategy because whenever you listen to Alex Hormozy, you're like, wow, how does he communicate so well? Even Iman Gadzhi.
Yeah.
One thing that they do, every person with a course does this, is urgency.
Hmm.
They'll say, my team only allows 2,000 people a month or a week to
Yeah.
join. Or I tell my team to only have 2,000 people a month join. And so you're like, well, shoot, it's in limited quantity. I better get
Yep.
in. And another thing, they speak in a way of like, I am nobody special. And some of what got me here is luck and others hard work, but I didn't have an upper hand. So that way the person relates more. Like Iman Gadzhi will
Mm.
start his videos with, you're young, 16 years old or 18, and you don't know what to do. And then he shows clips of himself. And then he's like, I made my first million at 18 and partially luck and then the other part work or whatever. And so at that point, you're immediately like relating to him on the same level. And
Yeah.
that makes you trust them more. And you really want to hear what they have to say because they are in your playing field. I'm actually going
Hmm.
to quickly look something up. So just give me one sec. Super interesting. Here we go. Um, this is how they break it down. Boom. Come on. Such a short little piece. Come on. All right. Yep. All right. Dude, this guy really put this in for like half a second. That's incredible.
What's
Trying to
that?
show there's this like little outline that he did, this YouTuber, of w- how he breaks down the way they speak, and it's super interesting, and I want to show you exactly what it looks like. Here we go. Dude, he literally put it in for such a short little clip. I'm trying to stop it on that spot and I can't. And now I lost it. Shoot. There we go. Uh, Oh, and he'll do this. He'll be like, people have been asking me to do Q&As on Instagram instead of saying, I've decided to do Q&As on Instagram. So
Yep.
the thing is with this strategy of communicating, you have to be very careful not to lie because once you start lying, I mean, it can go downhill real quick. Okay, here, let me pause the recording for half a sec. All right. That kind of knocked me off my flow, but check this out. So I'm actually going to remember to put this in to the pod,
Yeah.
but there's a commitment and likeness. You are young. I'm 17 years old. You're ambitious. I worked my face off. So it's like instead of saying I'm 17 years old, you're saying you are young. And instead of I worked my face off, you're ambitious. So instead of saying like I worked my
So
face off, you're saying I'm ambitious instead
it's
of
like
like you're it's the wording.
it's like saying it's like positive labeling. That's what Hormozy talks about, where if you want to encourage somebody to do something, you positively label them. So
Yep.
even in our like selling our product for mouth tape, nose strips, the label there is like, hey, you care about your sleep. you care about having a well-rested day. You care about your performance. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is for you.
Yeah.
Um, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing to take away.
And check this out. Desired outcome. So in today's video, I'm going to reveal the 7 principles for, and then this outline. Desired outcome. Teenagers and people in their early 20s to become millionaires. That's the desired outcome, being a millionaire.
Yep.
And then authority, like why could he speak on it? I made my first $1 million at 18 years old, and no matter what you see on TikTok, I want you to know that that is not normal. And then he says, it's partially luck, this and that. So everyone's like, oh, okay, he's not like some super genius with like Albert Einstein level IQ.
Yeah.
Very simple. And then it is not normal in any shape, form, or fashion, but it is because I followed these 7 principles. So what I'm going to reveal and then the desired outcome, how we will achieve the desired outcome.
Yeah.
Super interesting. And then you realize, like, a lot of these guys, that's literally how they talk. And that's why some people, you look at their YouTube channels, they have literally 1,000 videos posted, literally 1,000.
Yeah.
That's what, 3 years, 4 years almost of work?
Yeah.
That's almost 4 years of like every single day you have a piece of content coming out. And they have like maybe 1,000 subscribers, maybe 5,000 subscribers. Dude, I've seen like such small subscriber amounts and they have decent content when it comes to business.
Hmm.
But the thing is, they don't know how to communicate it well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like it's not like a podcast, it's like business related content. Them just sitting and sharing, how they made their 50 million or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not only about having success, it's about knowing how to communicate it well. And I think Alex Hormozi and Iman Gadzhi, they all share that form of communication. And I don't like that Alex Hormozi and Iman Gadzhi were used in the same video. I guess they use similar techniques on how they speak, but I think Alex Hormozi communicates more just purely based off of experience.
Yeah. Especially, have you seen his video that he dropped today?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where he talked about that, where he was like,
Mm-hmm.
we made one change to how we made content, and that was bringing it back to the basics. Here he is just sitting at a table and just talking, or sitting in front of a literal green screen, and it's green, and just
Yeah,
talking.
but he
And
communicates so well.
yeah, but the thing, what was interesting is that they made that change. Their viewer count went down, but their sales went up, their
Audience
inquiries went up,
retention.
their comments went up, everything went up because
Yeah,
he went down to the niche of who is my actual avatar versus just milking for
views.
for views. It's like Mr. Beast, for example. He is definitely going for the views game, and that's why his products are so vague. Like every human on Earth will try his chocolate
Chocolate.
bar. It's
I've tried
so
it.
vague. I've tried it. We ordered the original recipe because it's so good. We ordered like a bulk amount of it because their new recipe we don't like, but the old one we really like.
I
And
ate the new one, and dude, whatever happened thereafter in the back end was just terrifying, bro. And I am not kidding. That was directly, I was pretty much fasted, bro. And I ate that and I immediately had some major repercussions, and I was mad. I was mad at Jimmy.
well, again, their ingredients like legit changed.
Yeah.
That was what's interesting. We like looked into it. Their first original recipe was like really good, like really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it tasted good too. Like it was a good chocolate. It was
Do
safe
they still
for
sell the original?
They don't. They don't anymore. You can buy it still from Amazon. I'm not sure if you could still buy it, but as of 2 months ago, I ended up purchasing it right when they made the change. I guess some people still had stock of it and whatnot, and they were able to
Mm.
sell it. So, but that's what interesting. His approach is like so. I want to get attention and I want to get everybody. And so what he can sell, the burger, the chocolate bar, it's so vague and it's so
Yeah.
cheap. Like if you the more specific you get, the lower audience you'll have, but that's usually the higher
The more
dollar amount you
loyal.
can sell something with, and the more
Yeah.
loyal. Exactly. That's the people who are going to keep coming back if your product's good.
I'll say Mr. Beast is less vague than you think. He's towards the kids, if we're being honest. It's like Dude Perfect almost, like you know how they're super focused towards like all the 11, 10-year-olds watch them.
Yeah,
I'd say some adults watch Mr. Beast, but I'd not be surprised if like majority of the viewers are like under 15.
for sure, for
But it
sure. But
still is
he,
very, very vague. Like
yeah,
the consumer he's reaching, the person is the average Joe Schmo. Like,
that's what my point is. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that
Yeah,
is true.
his ideal avatar is someone who is looking just to legit watch something for 20 minutes, and just like turn their brain off. And it's great. Like, it's really
It
interesting. They made
works.
a video recently, and I watch his videos. Like recently, in the last, I think, like 4 or 5 months, we've consistently been watching his videos because they're really interesting. Like they're actually like fun to watch. And they made one recently that was a one cut. So there was no one take. There
Oh,
was
I
no
saw that
cuts.
one. Yeah.
Really interesting. Like he's definitely trying new things and trying different things. Where at the corner of the screen they legit had like the uncut version of like this is what this person they're following him through the crash course or whatever. And he's doing a an Amazon show. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I did.
That's gonna
Very
be interesting.
interesting.
I'm definitely gonna watch that. Like that's gonna be, whatever he's doing right now on steroids. I'm just curious like what that's gonna look like. It's gonna be
Here's a
interesting.
scary
Really
thought.
interesting. What's that?
Mr. Beast is a mass person ender. I don't want to say the actual words because you could technically get in trouble, but he ends people's lives if you think about it, because he's taking in billions, tens of billions of hours worth of people's lives, and if you count it up, it's like probably tens of thousands, if not billions of people's lives, lifetimes in
Oh,
watch
like
time.
viewer count?
Isn't that crazy? Like an hour just watched. Like on my
Yeah.
little YouTube channel had like 200 subscribers. I just post shorts. I had like 300 or 400 hours of watch time, and I counted it up and it was like a super long time. I'm like, dude, I just sucked somebody's life away. A 3-year-old would literally just cease to exist if that time was taken away from them. It's nuts. It's very interesting if you
That
think about
actually
it
is
from
a
that perspective.
very interesting perspective. And when you think of it, like quantify it into your own life, where you're just like, okay, Mr. Beast himself maybe takes this much hours away from humanity. But like how much hours are you allowing of your own life to disappear and go into the Fugazi land?
Yep.
That's terrifying. Like thinking about how much time we spend on our phones and how much time our kids see that we spend on our phones. And they see that, oh, it's totally normal just to sit down and just scroll through your phone for 30 minutes.
Disappear. Yeah.
That's normal. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's crazy, bro. That's
Scary.
a crazy new world that we live in.
Very
Wild.
spooky.
Yeah, that's pretty spooky. But that is interesting. Thinking about how people communicate, and I've been noticing that where it's that positive labeling and you're addressing yourself in a specific way. I think Hormozy probably started that to a certain degree where he would say, I did XYZ and I have nothing to sell you. And so your guard is completely down and you're just taking in the information. That's what I still don't have with these other creators where like Iman Gotchi, for example, where I watch a video, it's
Iman
total like
got you.
emailing Gotchi, yeah. It's total like motivation. I don't like to use the term, but yeah, it's like motivation porn. It's just
Yeah.
like you're just
Mental
watching it.
masturbation.
Exactly. You're just watching it to feel better about yourself, to like think that you're gonna do something about your life. But at the end of the day, I can't watch him freely because I'm like, where's the sell? He's gonna sell me something. Where's the course? Where's this? Where's that?
Yep.
Where's the invite to the community? Like, and I guess to a certain degree, obviously that's how they make money. But at the same time, it's a little strange where even looking at it from the back end, it's a little strange how we're used to watching content on YouTube that's supposed to be free. Like we don't want to be sold anything. We just want to watch. We just want to get entertained.
Yeah.
And I think that
You
it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, we have these creators. Like for example, I'm seeing like vloggers who are using like this new 360 camera. Have you seen that stuff?
yeah.
This camera is like it's like sponsoring a ton of new creators, and they're vlogging with this camera that doesn't really make sense to vlog with, or like realtors are running through a house with this camera, and you're just like, and they're plugging the camera. They're not even really plugging the house or the thing that they're doing. They're just like, oh, and you can buy this to my link and whatever, you know.
I hate that.
Um,
It turns me off from any creator, dude.
yeah,
I just saw a short, this dude that I always watch like doing cooking stuff on YouTube. Guys, check out this pan. It's so sick. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You can buy it at the link in my bio. Da-da-da. I'm like, bro, yeah, you lost me. You
yeah.
lost me, man. And this is
Especially,
where, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially if you're watching just for the sake of like enjoying their content. Like I follow a few bartenders, for example, who like make drinks all the time. And I just purely enjoy it because they're using all different types of drinks. They're using all different types of everything. And I remember when Johnny Drinks got their own drinks, like they started their own drink company, like I stopped watching them. Because it was like, okay, they're just making stuff with their own drinks now. Like it's just boring.
Hmm.
But when they're using all kinds of ingredients and all kinds of different things and they're teaching you something, it's actually
Yeah,
fun. You're just like, wow, this thing has 3 ingredients. I can go buy this right now and make this. Like, this is cool. Uh,
it's really interesting. As soon as somebody starts plugging a brand, let's say it's not even their own product, I don't trust the product. It's weird. The
hmm,
pans the guy was plugging, well, first of all, they were nonstick. I don't use nonstick. But aside from that, I'm like, I don't want to buy this product because I feel like they're not honest. The review that the guy on YouTube is giving me right now, he got paid to give that review. So I don't even know if he's being honest or not. It's a little
hmm,
different. Look, Mr. Beast has his own chocolate.
yeah,
How did he so seamlessly plug in the brand without of people being like, he's just trying to sell me chocolate? He's like constantly making people hold his chocolate bar. It's all about his chocolate. Every 10,
yep,
5 seconds on his video, he's talking about his
yep,
chocolate. And it's like, and you don't even find it annoying. You're like, oh, cool. He's just plugging his chocolate. Like, it's not even like, it's not the same subconscious thing. Like, oh, somebody paid him to plug their chocolate in the video. It's so
yeah,
weird. It's hard to explain. Joe Rogan, honestly, same thing. His advertisements, they don't really annoy me too much.
yeah,
It's weird because you know why? I trust Joe Rogan.
yep, yep.
Very interesting. Alex Hormozy, dude, this is a thought I had. What makes him different from like someone like Iman Gadzhi is he actually gives ridiculous value for free, and
Yeah.
he actually gives you the framework of what he used to make money and how other businesses actually make money. It's not just some fairy dust. Because Iman Gadzhi isn't being honest. He's making money off of you joining his community that he says he'll teach you how to make money, but he's making money off the community you're joining. So it's kind of weird. It's like this circle. And same with like this one guy, Toozer on Instagram. He's like over 1 million followers now. He lives up in Vancouver, Canada, actually.
Cool.
I joined their course, and this was a very expensive lesson for me, at least right now. But I'm glad I learned it.
Yeah.
It was my first time really experiencing somebody trying to sell me a course and a community. Let me tell you this. I joined their community in their course. It's terrible. He makes great content. He's like, this is how you use AI to do this and this and this. He's that guy. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen him. And his content is great, but he's always plugging his community. Text in the write in the comments if you want me to send you the link or whatever. And it's funny, the AI he has programmed doing his messages says that it's not AI.
Hmm.
Like I asked, hey, is this AI? He's like, no, this is actually me. But always responding within like you know, so I'm sure it's not him. He has over 1 million followers. Anyways, I joined the community. I paid almost 2 grand. Horrible. Is terrible. Every call I hop on, and I told the guy because I had to go, through a vetting process, my butt. It's we're gonna try to make the scarcity thing
Yeah.
as scary as possible. Like if you don't join now, Literally, your family's gonna starve and you're never ever gonna get an opportunity. It's like someone handing you a lottery ticket, pretty much. We're giving you free money here. Why aren't you taking it? All you have to do is give us 1,500 bucks or 2 grand. Okay. The community is amazing. There's a bunch of super ultra successful people. Everyone gets sales. We'll help you build out a shop. We'll help you do this. So Shopify stuff because I suck with Shopify. Guess what? Out of everybody there, I have made more money online than anybody in that freaking community. And I told them, hey, I've done this much sales. I've done this. When I'm joining, I'm expecting there to be people that are way above me that I can learn from and real results. Like, oh, tons of our students get their first sales and this and they blow up. Bro, there's people like I still get notifications like maybe a couple times a week. Oh, I just got my first sale on Shopify. And there's a ton of people on there, like thousands of young kids that are like, guys, the ads aren't working. How do I get sales selling this stupid drop shipping product? I'm like, dude, this is like the most lamest drop shipping course ever that I almost dropped 2 grand on. But I learned a lesson, like how to not fall for those freaking salespeople.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a rant. I'm still mad about that.
But I think that it like even hearing your experience with Bet David Consulting,
So different.
like so different. Obviously, it's well over lifetime it's gonna be more expensive,
It is
but
way more expensive, yeah.
it's trusted. That's the biggest thing. Where again, you trust the person who's running it. You trust the personal, you know, uh the personal people that you're connected with. I don't even know how to put this in words. But
Yeah.
you have a contact. You know what he's done. You know his resume. You're able to chat with him. He can legit just dive into your business and help you out. Like that's way more
And
valuable.
they don't make you commit. This is interesting. They're like, hey, you can get 1 month, like a call, hop on. If you like it, great. If you don't do it.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, it's not for you. And guess what? After that one call, I made so many connections and I got to talk to Patrick Bet David personally. Just
Yeah.
nuts. Like, not a ton of people nobody almost at my level gets to do that. There's CEOs of $100 million companies on this call. Like, seriously. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, this isn't just a bunch of 16-year-olds that are trying to make money. I was the youngest guy there.
Yeah.
Everybody else has legit businesses and is making real money, and they're actually looking for strategies to improve their business. And I'm like, dude, this is like legit. And the advice was incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm still like constantly getting new connections, new people. I mean, I have a guy in my phone number does $50 million a year in revenue doing remodeling. I'm not in the remodeling industry, but it's good to have his contact. Like, why the heck not? I pass it on to people I know that are in the remodeling business. He's top 50 in the US and top, I think, the top remodeler in Texas. Like that's huge. That's massive. And I have a ton of other people like that I have contact with now.
Yeah.
So that is like real value and everybody that hops on their first call and gets to introduce themselves, that's what you do. There's about 100, a little under 100 people on the Zoom call usually. Everyone that gets to introduce themselves are like, first of all, I've been here for, a year already. This is the most valuable mastermind. It's not a course. It's called a mastermind. The most valuable community, the most valuable connections I've made here. It's insane. It's paid tenfold, 100x what I'm paying.
Yeah.
Everybody says that that's there. So that's how you build a real community, and I trust PBD way more because of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of my ranting.
No, I think that's right on the ball. I feel like that's the main thing right now with these um with the creator concept, with the creator product concept is do the people that follow you trust you? And I think that that's the biggest tell. And they're going to trust you, like you said earlier, if you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Um, and if you make the expectations clear, because I think that even if the guy who's cooking in the kitchen tells you, hey, this is an ad. Like there's those guys, they'll say, "Hey, I'm getting paid to say this. Here it is." You know? Um, and
That's different.
it's different and it's interesting because you're just like, okay, they're getting sponsored. Let me listen to this. Okay, this is a cool product, whatever it is, NordVPN or something. And I legit remember when I first went to get my first VPN,
I use
I looked
ExpressVPN.
up, yeah, I looked up my favorite creator and went back a few videos, found their website
Yeah.
or whatever their link or their code, and I used it. Like I like made I did put some work and I put probably like 30 minutes like trying to find the last video they were sponsored in to get into the program with their code. I saved a bunch of money. I got like a really killer deal because I ended up paying I think for 3 years of it for like $80 versus like $15 a month. I don't know. It was really strange. Like I got a
Wow.
really great deal. And um and I think that when I went through that process, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I trust this creator. And even though like they're getting paid for this, I want to support them.
Hmm.
And I want to use the product. Like they brought the product to me and I want to use it.
It's
And I
very
think just
different.
this fine balance between like who's a sellout essentially and who's not. And I think that that has been around for much longer than just the creator, internet space. I think that throughout life, people who are just kind of they're
Yeah.
just sold on whatever. You can sell them on
Hmm.
whatever, and they're gonna sell whatever. Like very untrustworthy. Um,
I mean,
it's like the traveling salesman. You know what I mean? He just shows up with some snake oil or whatever and tries to give it to you and sell you and whatever.
yeah. They
And
used to sell encyclopedias.
yeah, and the interesting thing is like this is the next step, I feel like, of this concept is you have the people who you trust who sell you one product. And then the crazy thing is when you get to the point where you have a creator who has a following that's going to keep buying their products. For example, Cody Co. Um, Interesting creator. I still don't know how to label him. I don't even know
Hmm.
where to put him in the creator bracket, but he's one of the top guys. And actually, I think within this year, the CEO of YouTube was on a podcast somewhere, and he mentioned that the biggest creators that they see coming up is Mr. Beast. It was somebody else, and he named Cody Ko in the top three. And he's not
What?
even like the most subscribed. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was crazy to see. And I was like, wait, wait, wait.
Wow.
That's interesting. But again, I don't even know how to label the guy. He's
Hmm.
hilarious. We love watching him. I love his content with his wife. Me and Christina watch that all the time. It's like it's strangely engaging and you can trust him and
Wait,
he's showing his
is that the
process
Asian
and
guy?
no,
Oh.
this is the other guy, but they work together.
Oh, okay, okay.
Noel and Cody.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um and what he's doing right now is he's doing his Cody's Run Club. Like he started posting running videos, I think about a year ago. We started running, started training for an Ironman. So he's showing his fitness journey as well. And now he's doing like a launch, I think like every month or so. Like he's doing a product drop. And every time it sells out. Like it's pretty interesting because the people again, he like goes on a run and he has people noticing him everywhere and just being like, yo, we're running with you. Like this is awesome. Um,
Mm,
it's
that's
really
pretty sweet.
interesting how he was able to transfer just being like that funny YouTuber guy to like full blown, like real trusted, I don't even want to say
Very
influencer, but
interesting.
a really trusted personality in the space of exercise
Yeah.
and running. Pretty
There's
interesting.
here, let's I'll say one more thing real quick when it comes to specifically influencers like that. There's also Ryan Trahan, dude. He's been popping off recently like crazy. Like that dude, you ever watch him? He does like the I stayed in the one-star hotels or I flew
Yeah.
in the really expensive airplane. He's selling out of his candy every time it drops within like a few hours. It's nuts. Very interesting. And he's trying to get into Walmart or whatever, and he's using his audience to be like, hey guys, Walmart will let me, go through all their stores if you guys buy them out pretty much. They're gonna put out the bottom shelf, and it's pretty crazy, dude. Like you can leverage your audience to grow a solid business.
Yeah,
Um, I want to quickly just stop the recording here and then continue it just because I don't
sure.
want it to cut out because I have another thought. Is that cool?
That's good. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Is it cool if I share a thought real quick?
Go for it.
So, the difference between Alex and Iman Gadzhi, it's similar to the difference between you ever watch Unbox Therapy
Yeah.
and MKBHD.
Yep. Interesting difference. Yep.
Unbox Therapy, you know that he's sponsored pretty much with every product. He gets it for free.
Yep.
And you just assume this is what I go to him for. I used to watch him religiously, like younger, but I go to him for this. If I'm looking for a specific product and I just want to know the features, I'm already sold on the product. I don't necessarily need anyone to critique it. He never almost ever gives negative feedback on something that he reviews. He just unboxes it and shows what it is.
Yep.
And I respect him for that because he's pretty I don't know if he's pretty transparent, but he always has the affiliate links and stuff. So I just assume, you know, he's getting paid for this. And so I just go there to see the features. He's super funny. It's always a
Yeah.
lot of fun watching him. MKBHD, very different. You're going there to see the nitty gritty and what's wrong with it. Same with what's his name, dude? I can't put it's like right on the edge. The big bald guy that does the like tearing apart phones and scratching the glass.
Yep. Yep.
What's his name, dude?
I don't remember his name.
I hope, yeah, I think you know who I'm talking about. Very different type of YouTuber, MKBHD and Unbox Therapy. And that's kind of how I see someone like Iman Gadzhi, even on a way lower level, because he's always trying to undercut and like sell something subconsciously to you. He may not even bring up his community, but he's low key always pushing you towards that.
Yeah.
Um, with Alex, it's like he never directly says, "Hey, go get my product." He literally is like, "Hey, my book is out. You could go get it for free if you're broke. Go pick it up. I'm not making any money off it. Go get my book. But if
Yep.
you really want a hard copy, you could go get it because I gotta pay for shipping. It's heavy, this and printing."
Whatever it is. Yep.
And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, dude.
Yep.
Like that's the type of guy, like metaphorically, maybe really, you would trust with your life. Just because of the way they portray themselves. I'm not saying, we know all the skeletons hidden in his closet, but just overall, that's like a super interesting thing. And that's why I think it's cool that our right now, currently where we're at, we want to build trust and gain recognition. And to be honest, I think it's a lot more difficult to do the second thing without the first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hmm. Interesting comparison. Yeah, I think that when an MKBHD video comes up, I'm usually usually watching it just for sake of I enjoy his content and I'm enjoying, seeing what he's got to say about something specific. Sometimes if there's a product that he reviews that I legit know I have zero interest in, I just won't watch the video.
Yeah.
But most things, like for example, basically because my current setup is all Apple, um, I'm anything Apple that comes out, I'm kind of watching it or looking through it. Same thing with their podcast, dude. Their podcast waveform is like, again, super insightful, kind of funny. They have some cool segments they have there. It's just super unique and it's like a hangout, you know? And I think that that's what Joe Rogan has with like his Protect Our Parks episodes or whenever he has like one of his friends come and, talk about something. It's like just fun. It's just
Yeah.
like, and you are learning something. So like they'll talk about politics or something, you know, but it's still like just enjoyable because it's just two guys who are talking about something that's going on in the world, uh, versus somebody who's just trying to plug a product or just, pushing essentially just like marketing. They're just
Donut
doing
Media.
marketing for companies.
You ever watch Donut
Donut
Media?
Media, yeah.
They went, to me, in my opinion, they went downhill. and I'll say why. They beat Mr. It's like they say what Mr. Beastification of YouTube or whatever.
Yep.
That's kind of what happened to them. They turned into more of like less focused towards real car enthusiasts and more like they used to make this super interesting B2B or something it was called. It was like about
Yep.
bumper to bumper, and then there's
Yep.
back to like the history of the car,
Yeah.
what stuff they did. Super interesting. And you're sitting there and you're like, huh, that's actually really cool. And now it's all like, we put in $100 million into this Ford Ranger we got for $500 and da 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 da. And it's just like, wow, whoa. And they've grown like crazy. I've been there since they were like not even cracking 1 million subscribers.
Yep.
And now they're just, blowing up and it's all this and that. And they always have sponsorships sponsored by Hyundai, sponsored by Wells Fargo or someone like that. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing sponsoring them? Or like Allstate Insurance. And I'm just like, is this like a TV show at this point? Because it's what it feels like. Before it was just like some dudes goofing around working on their Miatas or whatever. And
I think
now I just don't enjoy them
yeah,
as much.
similar comparison, Donut Media and Hoonigan.
Hmm.
Um, like same thing. Like I stopped watching both. I haven't seen both in a long time. But I remember watching Hoonigan and it was still like they're just working on their cars. They have like crazy tests that they'll do where they just like put like 15,000 speakers in a car and see if they can drive faster or slower with the music blasting. Like just like that's
Yeah.
so much fun. And it's like genuinely interesting to watch. I haven't seen the recent stuff, but I remember that just being like, if you like cars, you're just gonna watch their stuff and it's gonna be fun. But same with Donut Media. There were previous things with like you were mentioning the bumper to bumper, the history. That was like fun. We're just like, I'm just gonna learn how the Ford GT came into life and what kind of
Yeah.
paint they use, and you need like, whale oil to make the paint and just
Yeah.
like
You're like,
what
what
in
the
the world?
heck?
It's like super interesting.
Or what kind of engines they had or how it, yeah,
How yeah, really cool. Really cool.
they had to climb up a mountain and find a certain type of stone to put inside the center console, whatever. Super interesting. Now it's overproduction. The thing is, people get to a certain point, they think bigger is better in a sense of like bigger cameras, better lighting, bigger studio. And then I think it gets to a point where you're like, you don't feel authentic anymore. Actually, coming back to MKBHD, he's one of the few people, even with having a massive warehouse and studio, he keeps it super personal. It's like he'll just have like a selfie video he's recording of himself sometimes, or it
Yep.
just feels like you're just chilling with him and he's just talking to you about what's going on. It's not like super overproduced. It's very
But
interesting.
again, at the same time, when you do look at his production, I think he draws that line so well because they have the best production.
The best
Like
camera,
the best
best
camera, the
everything.
best production. They do have that and they make it so personal. I think that his personal brand is huge. Like it's
Oh yeah.
huge. And I think that because of that, again, that's why he can go and make these really cute, cool transitions and these cool, effects and whatnot. Like they have a solid team. Um, but what I'm saying is like because they're in the tech world, that is also very appealing to their target audience. If
Oh yeah.
Hormozy's making a video that's like just like boom, 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 whoa, 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 and like this super high tech, high quality thing, you're just like, okay, this is interesting. I'm watching it. But it's it seems to be like too much. Where if he's sitting at a table and just talking, you're getting
Or
more
at a
out of it.
whiteboard. I
Or
love
a
that. It
whiteboard.
feels like you're just at his presentation. Like you're in the office room, you're in the
Yep.
conference area, and you're just watching him make a little presentation for you, and you're like, wow, very interesting. It's
Hmm.
I love that he's super low production effort in a very good way. Like they almost put in like at least what it seems to the consumer, very low effort on editing. It's just very straight, like almost a single continuous shot of him just talking.
Yep.
It's so sick.
Yeah. I think that that encourages me even more. Then there's another YouTuber who does tech stuff as well, and he's gone so far down the road of like the Mr. Beastification of it, where it's like every 2 seconds bright colors and lights and this jump and that jump. Like even his shorts feel like a full video. Like it drains you because they're just like boom, 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 boom. And it's like it's like tough to watch.
Yeah,
It's tough to watch. But at the same time, they're getting views. So like I think it's just what you're going after. If you're going after just the view count, that's
not
one
the
game.
community.
But if you're going after the community and the building trust and that side of it, then that's just a different game. But that's just so long term that it just takes time and it's very difficult. Very
A
difficult.
100%. Yeah. You ready to switch gears? I think I have one more thing we can
Let's
touch
do
on.
it. Let's do it.
All right. School games. Alex
Yeah.
Hormozy again. This guy, he's really up to stuff. It's all we could talk about. Um, Super interesting. I couldn't figure out what it was about until people I've been seeing in my feed with their advertisements, like you sent me,
Yep.
are apparently the winner of school games. And you're like, hold up, that's what it is? Super interesting. I think it's a little weird still to me, fully grasping the idea of why I would join a paid community.
Yep.
Um, I don't get it, but I kind of do. Patreon is something similar, I would say. I have two Patreons currently I'm paying for monthly.
Really?
Yeah, Ruslan, he'll be a forever Patreon. I'll support him on Patreon till the day I die, most likely, unless he turns into some
That's
weird
it.
hippie new age atheist. Um, him and weirdly James Hoffman, bro, because
James Hoffman.
he's the coffee guy with the white hair on YouTube, and
Yep.
he does all the espresso machine giveaways and stuff to his Patreon community, and I'm like $2 a month or $1 a month. I'm
Oh
like,
wow, that's not bad.
like my lottery every month. No, that's not the main reason I joined. I actually really enjoy his videos. And I have an espresso machine, so he would probably throw holy water at me, holy espresso beans at me or whatever.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm gonna quickly continue down and then you give me your thoughts. So I want to start a community, and I told you about this for school games,
Yep.
just to give a crack at it. Actually, after this, I'm probably gonna record a couple clips to see if I can use it for a new social media page I'm gonna start. What is the community going to be about? I actually think I can bring a lot of value to people because I have a lot of connections. And from what I'm aware of, you pretty much upload stuff to the community and then people interact with what you upload and they get this content
Hmm.
or these advice or whatever. However often you upload, that's what you get. Like there's these fitness guys on there, if you want to get fit, follow along with me, but you have to pay to get that. So it's a
Yep.
lot more high quality or whatever. Well, I don't know exactly what the logic is behind it, but I do because I have a lot of people that are very successful on Etsy that I know about. So I'm gonna ask them, hey, once a month, can you record a short little clip? And I want to have just a general idea of like, hey, can you speak on this? How to get your ad spend um better return on your ad spend.
Hmm.
Can you make a quick video? Because I know some people that have 30 employees doing it. I know some people that, have done over $4 million in sales. I know people that are right now currently, after I spoke with them, they're becoming super successful, getting like 2,000 sales a month.
Yep.
Anyway, and what I'm gonna do is start making ad videos like, hey, join this community if you wanna learn how to grow on Etsy. And I have proof behind it. I've helped people get their first sales on Etsy very quickly. What are your thoughts on that? What would be something, let's say you're in the market for trying to sell on Etsy, like you just opened up your Etsy shop, you have a couple listings up, you're not doing very hot. You maybe got your first sale, maybe not, and you're like, what the heck? How do I do this? What would you be looking for? How could I convince you that, hey, I got it going on?
I think that the biggest thing is first, what can I not find by myself? What can I not learn by myself? And that is purely experience. So I would probably just go into everything you've been burned by and everything that you've learned like the hard way and teaching people that. Because there's a plethora of things that you can find on YouTube, for example, like even building our Shopify store. I watched like a 3-hour video of just someone who was like, hey, this is how you build a Shopify store. And that gave me so much more insight on all of the details, but it wasn't really like digging into each thing. He just kind of skimmed over everything. And so then I was able to just dig into it. So that's something I feel like I can find for free. Something I don't feel like I can find for free. I can definitely try. But is something more like he started a company, like for example, you started your dog collar business, you start spending a lot of money on ads, like, reinvesting a lot in ads. What did that teach you? What do you regret? How can you have made it more efficient? Like all those things would be super valuable. And I think
Yeah.
that that's probably, the ad side, the product photography, like even lately you're getting into the render side. So like you're making everything a lot more official, a lot more clean. That should you have done that sooner, or maybe not? Maybe a small shop with little sales that looks too official is not a good thing. I don't know. Um, so like those kind of lessons, and I think the timing with when you start to integrate different things is really important. I think that that's what people are looking for. A lot of people are just looking for someone to hold their hand, unfortunately. They just want someone to be there and just talk them through a decision that they know they need to make most of the time.
Yep.
Um, but
That's
in the,
consulting.
exactly, exactly. But in this case, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, hey, you're all right. Now you have, 5, 10 products listed. This is the amount of sales that you're getting. This is how we take it to the next level. And I think that like they talk about where, getting from 0 to 10,000 is different from getting from 10,000 to 50. Same thing with getting from 1 million to 10 million is different from getting from, 50 million to 100 million. It's just a different game. You're doing different things. And I think that
Yeah.
especially if you're targeting people who are starting and like even like again up to your current level, like you can basically teach all of that. And I think that
Yeah.
that's who the target audience will be. And I think that it's essentially going back to what you were mentioning about that course that you bought. If you're the person that, is the most successful person there, all you can do there is teach. But the problem is that you're not getting paid for that. You're not getting paid for teaching people. You're just getting paid to see, people starting and learning and,
Yeah.
it's like, but if you're in the game of helping people start, that's a different thing. But again, I think it's a balance again, because again, going back to just our conversation that we just had, it's learning and growing that trust with the community and essentially just again offering as much, you're offering more to them than what they're paying for. If their
Yeah.
opt-in is, $50 a month or whatever it is, I don't know what it is for the school games, but if that's your opt-in, you are giving them $1,000 worth of information, $10,000 worth of information. So
Exponential amount
they're,
is what I would say.
yeah. And I think
And
just making it super actionable. So like even for me, like for example, this is actually an interesting side note that is like a well-known thing now where it's like competency. So like how competent are the people that are learning from you? You can tell them go market the product. They probably don't know what that means. Or you can tell them open up this page, go to this thing, adjust these numbers, check these numbers every day, or adjust these numbers every day, and you'll start pop like there's different things that will start happening in the algorithm that's going to help you.
yep.
That's a different thing than just saying go optimize your store or go do X, Y, and Z. Um, and I think that that's the balance and that's the difference a lot of times where, for example, coming back to that Iman Gotchi and Hormozy comparison, you watch an Iman Gotchi video and it's like, oh, go do this and this, but it's all pretty vague. Where
Yep.
here you're just like, all right, go knock on 10 doors, make a sale,
Here's the
maybe even offer it
actionables.
for free for 4 referrals, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And
It's not
so
mindset, it's actual like practical steps. Like do this.
yep, and that's going to build the mindset. Yeah. And so I think that that's, I guess, just ballparking what my mind's racing going through.
Okay.
So I think that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Let's role play a little more here. So
Sounds
let's
good.
say you see a video and an ad pop up. Right now, you're scrolling through Instagram, and this is the ad you get. Hey, I made over $800,000 in sales on Etsy, and if you want to do the same, click in the link below. Boom, whatever. Something like that, for instance. Is that a turnoff for you, me saying, like, this is how much I made? And if you want to do the same, click below. Or would you rather, like, oh, I made 40,000 sales on Etsy and da 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 da. Like, would you rather be have that person be more vague? Would it be more interesting? Like, ooh, I wonder what his revenue numbers are. Or do you want somebody to just be like, this is how much money I made, and if you want to learn, join? Would you rather somebody just be that blunt?
So I would probably even say I would add to that. I would say my initial reaction is I would be like if you say, for example, hey, I made X, Y, and Z, hit my profile, like check out my profile. I'm posting videos all the time about specific things that I'm doing. And um I'm also providing more personalized, like what essentially what Hormozy talks about, where he's saying essentially like here's all the free stuff. And to get even deeper, here's where you go for that. So I
Okay.
think that that would be the approach that I would be like, okay, let me follow this guy. Let me see what he's got. Let me see what he's going to be posting, what I can learn from him. And, 10, 50, 100 videos in, I'm like, okay, like whatever this guy is doing is working because in the last 100 videos, I've already seen him make even more. And I'm seeing whatever it is, customers or people that you're helping also grow and pop off and everything like that.
Yeah. So it would be very interesting making an ad like this. Like, hey, stop. Go check out my profile. I have a bunch of videos on there for free. You can just look through them. This is how I grew my Etsy to get to almost 50,000 sales, 30% customer return rate. Go check it out. And if you're interested in getting more personal content and deeper into my space, click the link below. Boom. Something like that would probably be more interesting to you. Like you just click the profile. Well, there's no risk involved. Having an ad
And
like that specifically, I'm not even talking about like I would want to do this where I could get in front of as many people as I can and not wait for the organic algorithm, da da da. I would just go pay for ads and make videos like that. Would that be
exactly.
something you'd be like, huh?
Yeah, I think that that's totally fair. And I would even probably even hit the link below, see what it is. How much does it
Yeah.
cost? Like I would if I like the person, if I know of them or I know them and I'm starting to know them, I'm then able to make a jump on a call
Yeah.
and or do whatever. I think that the really interesting thing is the concept of if you spend more than 6 hours with someone, it's like they're like psychologically like a friend to you.
Yeah.
And
You're
that's
a
a
friend
big
to them.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Where I don't even know how many hours I've spent listening to Joe Rogan, for example, or even Hormozy now, or most of the things he tells me now, I'm like, all right, solid.
All right,
Like
boss, I'm
my
on it.
my
Yeah.
my BS filter is becoming a lot more relaxed. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. And that's
It's
because
because you
again, they
start
give
thinking like
away
them.
exactly. You start thinking like them, but you also see, all right, even if I don't buy their stuff, I'm still getting a ton of free good stuff. And I'm able to enjoy the content here.
That's what PBD
Uh,
did to me, bro.
yeah, yeah, seriously, seriously. Like I watch him all the time. Whenever they're doing a podcast, I'm usually trying to tune into that.
I wish he was
And
more business centered right now. He's too political for me. I think he should do more business stuff because he's really good with it. But anyway,
it's just the election, man. Freaking
yeah.
election. But
Freaking election, dude.
yeah,
No, that's
yeah,
good stuff. I'm gonna start recording content for that today, so I'm excited.
sweet,
Um,
dude. Let's see where that goes.
yeah, I just for fun, I'm gonna spend like 30 minutes a day on it. Just
Yeah.
record 5 pieces of content, put it out there, use one of them for an ad, and I'm gonna start talking to all those people and say like, hey, can I get you guys to just, I'll eventually pay you. For now, just do me a solid, give me a couple videos a month, and I'm gonna post them on there. And I want to build a sick community. If this goes well, I'll cut you a check. So we'll see how that goes. It's just gonna be for fun. I honestly just want to try it out, whatever this Alex Hormozy school thing is. He's so confident in it, Want to see what's up. And then I want to blame him if it doesn't work, not because I
Yeah.
didn't put enough work in.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is like most people, and that's what the defense for these courses are. It's like, or these communities, they're like, sure, this person is a
Oh
hater, but
yeah,
they just didn't
dude.
try.
That's
Yeah.
all they all say. You just didn't try hard enough. I'd say something with like Alex's specifically. It really is up to you because
Yep.
the idea is you just go make content, advertise, and get
That's the
people to that
sell.
community. It's
Yeah,
very
that's the
different.
yeah, that's the sell that's the expectation set right away. But if your expectation is join and you'll learn how to make $100,000 a month,
Yeah.
that's a completely different thing.
He's not saying I'm gonna help you get 100,000 followers. He's not saying I'm gonna help you make a ton of money. He's saying I'll help you make your first dollar online by giving you a trusted platform that you can use to get people into.
Exactly.
Versus with the course, I'm gonna help you make $100,000 a month on Shopify, and I'm gonna be there personally to help you and give you the steps. When in reality, it's all just
Yep.
yeah. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm cooked.
Me too. I think that's basically everything we got for today.
Awesome. Yeah. Hope everybody has a good one. If anyone made it this far, leave a comment if you made it this far.
Yeah,
If even
do
one
it.
person did, that's freaking awesome. Anyways, have a good one. Peace.
Yeah, peace.